All right, yellow sheet verbs 10 through 20. That means that number 10 is still possible for the quiz, so let's check out what number 10 was from last week. 10 is conocer, which has an irregular yo form and a really long definition, of which I do allow students to take out the or be familiar with part on a verb quiz. All right, but when in doubt, always give as much information as possible. 11 has an irregular yo. 12 is normal. 13 has an irregular yo and a stem change. And yes, you need both of those in a definition. There we go with 11 through 15. And whenever I do a slash like that, that means that you can have either or. Got a lot of stem changers here. The parentheses you must have. It just means that sometimes the definition will have it and sometimes it won't. I mean, not the definition, but the verb. For example, escuchar música means to listen to music. Even though I'm not saying anything between escuchar and música, the word to is in there. But if I said necesitas escuchar, I'm just saying you need to listen. So yes, you need that too. And yes, you need the temporary. And the 2 stars mean that it is totally irregular. That's it for your verbs 10 through 20. In the present tense, let's talk about if anything special happens to them in the preterite. First, let's check for teacups. Estar is a teacup. Its teacup stem is estuv, E-S-T-U-V. Let's check for more. At a glance, I don't see any. And conocer is not a teacup either. Next, you want to ask yourself, are there any verbs that are affected in the slipper, which means IR stem changers and verbs like leer. Well, decir is an IR stem changer, so it would be, oh, it's a teacup. Can't believe I didn't say that before. It's a teacup. The teacup stem of decir is dij, D-I-J. Because it's a teacup, it is not also affected in the slipper. Okay. Dormir is an IR stem changer, though, so in the preterite, it's O-to-U only. O-to-U-E in the present tense, O-to-U only in the slipper in the preterite. And any other IR stem changers? No. Next thing we're going to ask, are there any verbs with an irregular yo, which are your car, gar, and zar verbs? So yes, empezar is going to have an irregular yo because you can't ze in Spanish. So it's going to be empecé, ce at the end, still with an accent on the e. Any other car, gar, or zar verbs? I don't see any. And conocer is not one. Other thing to think about is there are 4 verbs that are totally irregular in the preterite. They are dar, ver, ser, and ir. Ser and ir are your FU verbs, but then in the preterite, dar and ver take er, ir endings, but no accents. I'm going to say that again. Think about what I'm saying. Maybe repeat it along with me. In the preterite, dar and ver take er, ir endings, but no accents. That's not anything you need to write down on the front of a verb quiz, but if you're asked to conjugate dar in the preterite, something you need to think about. Check out those golden tickets if you need further explanation or a visual.